Shalom, shalom. The weekly prophet portion for this week that's associated with Parashat Acharei Mot and Kedoshim, it's a double portion, is from the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 7 to 15. It is Adonai's promise that he will shake sinful Israel, but it comes with a promise of Israel's restoration. It's the story of our life. My name is Barney de Klerk. I'm making this video to talk about this week's Prophets portion. I'm not a teacher, I'm a student. I'm sharing with you what I'm learning, and hopefully I encourage you to look at the book of Amos, chapter 9, the first 15 verses for yourself. Adonai started this oracle to Amos by stating that Israel is like the Cushites to him, people from the land of Cush, in their rebellion against his commandments. So Cush, we have to take a step back to understand what this is about. Cush are the cursed descendants of Canaan. And why the curse we find in Parashat Noach, or in Noah's history in the Bible. Noah came out of the ark after the flood, and he made wine and he drank too much. And whilst Noah was sleeping it off, his son Ham raped his own mother, Noah's wife. This is what the metaphor used in the Bible, saying to uncover his father's nakedness. That's what it means. His father's nakedness is his mom's private parts. He uncovered his mom. He raped his own mother. And you'll find confirmation of what I'm saying of that metaphor in several other texts of Absalom's rebellion against David, for example. You'll see the same expression. So Canaan was born from Ham's incest, and that is why Canaan is considered to be amongst Noah's sons, in inverted commas, in Genesis 9 verse 18 to 25. Please read that, Genesis 9 verse 18 to 25. Canaan was cursed because he was born from incest, and he was the fruit of Ham's fallback to the evil generation before the flood. Canaan then later on fathered Cush, who fathered Nimrod, and Nimrod was the first Zoroastrianist or Satanist, we call Zoroastrianism in modern times. He was the first one in history. Noah's wife probably was from the line of Cain, and through her, the Nephilim DNA survived the flood. That's why there are still giants after the flood. In fathering a child with his own mother, Ham strengthened this bad DNA in Canaan. And Noah's curse of Canaan manifested in Cush. When we evaluate the modern descendants of Cush, it seems as if Adonai's curse on Cain also weighs down upon Cush. And this fits with my aforementioned deduction or speculation, if you like, about the comparison of Israel, who's departed away from God's Torah ways, to be like Cush to Adonai. I want to say regarding Cush, such curses can be broken, of course, by teshuvah, by returning to walk in Adonai's ways, Aderech Adonai, or preferably the narrow interpretation of Aderech Adonai, which we call Aderech Yeshua. So, coming back to Amos, Israel was punished for not walking in Aderech Adonai, and in that they were like Cush. And the land stopped yielding its fruitfulness to them. And especially Adonai used other nations to punish them, and the Romans especially brought about an ecological disaster by chopping down every tree in the promised land. They chopped down the trees to crucify Jews on. Josephus says as many as 500 crucifixions in a single day in the year 69-70. And also the Romans crucified a Jew every mile of the way from Jerusalem back to Rome, chopping down trees as they went. And the deforestation that came from it resulted in a arid environment. The promised land became a malaria-infested, swampy desert wilderness, and that is according to Mark Twain's testimony when he visited the Holy Land in the late 19th century. But in Amos, Adonai promised to restore David's fallen shelter, and the promised land will return to its fullness for Adonai's chosen people. That prophecy is happening now as we speak, in our day. The Jews returned to the land, they're still returning to the land, but the land has returned to the Jews as well, and it continues to return to the Jews. Israel is no longer like Cush to Adonai, but as they made teshuvah, as they made a return, Adonai returned to them as well. My tongue slip about Islam is I wanted to say because Islamists are burning down trees in Israel, they're burning veld fires, grasslands, burning trees in order to try to destroy the land again. The best explanation I've seen of what's happening is akin to King Solomon's wisdom with the two women and the two babies. One baby died in the night and both women wanted the live baby. And Shlomo said, okay, let's cut the baby in half and give each one half. And the woman who was the real mother said, no, let the other lady take my baby, let him just live, don't cut him. And that's how Solomon identified the true mother. In the modern state of Israel, that's how you also identify the true owners of the land. The people who are burning the land, they're not the owners. They are the enemy of the old owners. The true owners are cultivating the land, they're developing the land, they're planting trees to restore the land, and the land's returning to them. Israel is no longer like Cush to Adonai. For the complete restoration of King David's shelters, the carpenter Adonai will soon return. He will restore all things after he destroyed Israel's enemies, because they are his enemies as well. Upon his return, the carpenter will be known as Adonai Tsevaot. Tsevaot means, or Adonai means Lord Tsevaot of the heavenly armies, the Lord, the captain, the general, commander of the heavenly armies. The heavenly armies consist of 100 million angels, the commander of that army. He will return, he will crush the enemies of Israel who are his enemies, and then to restore the fallen shelter of David, King David, he will be Adonai the carpenter, who will rebuild it. He is known, it's prophesied that he will wear many crowns, that he will carry many titles that will be bestowed on him. And he will rule for 1,000 years from Jerusalem, and he will rule the nations with a rod of iron. And that's interesting because the rod of iron has an atomic number of 26. 26 is the gematria of Adonai's holy name, Yod-Heh Vav-Heh. And what it means is to rule with a rod of iron is he will rule by Torah law. That is the holy law that's linked to gematria of 26, the atomic number of iron. post-followers of the Jewish Messiah, as post-modern followers of the Jewish Messiah, we pray with John, the disciple John, as he wrote in chapter 22 of the book of Revelation. Haruach, the Spirit, and the bride says, come. And then he confirms it again, come Adonai Yeshua, come. He will soon return. It is inevitable that it will be so. Until he returns and restores everything, I pray that Adonai Eloheinu will bless you and keep you, that he will shine his face upon you and be gracious to you. I pray that he will lift his countenance, his provision upon you, and that he will give you shalom. Shalom means that he will make you complete and that he give you inner peace, even in the midst of the storm that's coming. Shalom, shalom.